Well, hello, Mike.
Uh, got out of the shower.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, see that? Put your video on. Yeah,
There
here.
you go.
There you go. Hey,
There you
hey.
go.
Hey, that was a great talk that we had, conversation we had yesterday.
Yeah, what? Just like old times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I don't call that babbling at all. I learned so much information and wisdom from you yesterday. And
Oh,
a lot
well,
of times.
information I can agree with. Wisdom, I'm not so sure about.
Oh, Mark, there's a lot of there. There's a lot there. Yeah, yeah. More wisdom based. Let's put it this way, more wisdom than information.
Oh, okay. I'll take your
You know
word for it.
what happens is that when we talk about these subjects, we get into a wave, which you understand what I'm talking about,
Yeah, oh, sure.
right. So we're
You get
riding.
caught up in the tide.
Yeah, exactly. So we're riding that wave, with and that wave is just like you tap into wisdom, and that's what comes across. It's when a person has a conversation with that about that, it's easy to tap into. And so then when you come out of that state and you listen to it, I'm just babbling because there is I would say a disconnect between the rational and the irrational, and a lot of stuff that we're talking about is not so rational. You can't pinpoint it and say it's this or this or that, right? Yeah.
True, true, true.
Uh-huh.
Well, what are we doing today?
Well, today you're going to tell me all about the story about the salt ponds. Salt pond.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Pictures I was supposed to get you.
Huh.
I can't remember where I put them. They're on my computer someplace, but I
Uh-huh.
will make sure I get those to you. That the salt works, gosh, I mean, the only history I have of it, it was there long before um, possibly I was even born, or you for that matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, because it had been in operation a long time. I mean, just on the look at some of the vehicles they had on the property, and they had their own little train system worked out. They had tracks back there where
Wow.
they would, well, the whole idea was you have these big reservoirs. Basically, if you just looked at farmland in England, you know how they all have their little hedges and stuff and separates properties and stuff like that. Well, that's kind of like what it looked like there in the Back Bay. And they would open up their dikes. They had several, I think they had about three different dikes where they would open it up because the tide didn't come all the way back a lot of times. That was one of the things it did when they first started. But over the years, the sediment and the salts, think how much salt is actually still left in that upper bay there. And then they had to dredge all that stuff out. And that was a big project in itself, going back there and just digging all that sand out of there so they could get the flow from, I do believe it's the San Joaquin River, if you want to call it that, more like a creek now. But um, if you go over Jamboree Road right there, where there used to just be a two-lane bridge with like wooden pylons underneath it, it was pretty beat up to go over, with heavy trucks and stuff. I mean, it was way before Caltrans. They didn't have anybody running around checking highways or roadways.
Hmm.
If a road broke, I was up to the city to fix it. And of course, Newport, they didn't. That was the Upper Bay. It was still part of Newport, but they didn't. it's
My
out of
territory.
sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
You're more concerned with what's going down on the water and the beachfronts and stuff. But at any rate, they would let the tides come in, fill up all those uh, reservoirs or pastures, salt pastures, you might want to call them, and then shut the dikes, and then sit back and let sun do its thing and evaporation, and it, all the salt water disappears, and pretty soon little salt crystals start to form, and next thing you know, there's these big pastures of white, and then they just had to go out there and how they processed all that, I don't know, because I know they had to have some kind of a bulldozer or something to scrape it and pile it up. And then from there, they would put it on a dump truck or the little train, I should say,
Hmm.
looked more like a mining cart inside of a mine, where you'd have,
Oh,
it
okay.
wasn't real big. It sort of looked like, a ride at Disneyland kind of thing. So, but then they would haul that back to that processing area, which is what you're familiar with the big pile of salt and the conveyor systems and stuff like that. And they would literally take that dirt with all that salt in there and just shake it in these big, not quite sure what you call them, but it's a process where they basically shake out all the dirt and the salt, is screened out and everything else sort of falls to the bottom. So they haul out, all that dirt and whatever, and where they put that, I have no idea. Probably back into the ponds or whatever. But and then they process that, and that would be the big conveyor belt. All the processed salt would go up this big long conveyor belt, and it just dumped at the end, and that's where you got that big pile of salt at the end. And then
Hmm.
from there, they just load it up on trucks and take it up to Morton's. And, I mean, the big thing now is if you have real organic sea salt, and I'm thinking, ah, how else do you get it, But,
Hmm.
they have ionized salt, they have all these different processes to purify it. So you're not exactly getting all the neat goodies that the ocean offers you when you get sea salt. So, and sea
Hmm.
salt typically is a bigger grain. It's a little larger. They don't process it down to like sand.
Yeah, they
They
don't
keep
take out. I think there's 12 essential vitamins in salt, and
uh,
table salt basically is just iodine. They strip out.
right. Exactly. You're exactly right. So
Yeah, yeah.
you can think of those little sea urchins and all that neat
Mhm.
stuff that
So
all
there
their
was two
boys'
operations.
bodies.
Yeah, yeah, that seems to me. You said there was that one, and then there's one for your family. What what one?
Well, my dad had a sand business across the street.
Okay, okay,
But
okay.
there was no way was there a connection
Yeah,
other
okay. Yeah, they're
than,
not connected. Yeah, right.
yeah, I mean, we're just like neighbors.
Hmm.
There was the headquarters of the salt, flats there, the salt tanks, what do you want to call them? And then there was my dad's project, and he had conveyor belts also to get rid of the rocks and stuff and separate it into casting
Hmm.
sand and silica. So,
Did you say Bob
but there's still,
Jackson?
Mhm.
Did you say Bob Jackson?
No, I don't know where
Okay, okay, you
I'm
didn't. Okay,
missing.
okay. Because when you said that.
But if you remember, we used to go back there and we'd dig around in that soft sand and in those rocks, and we'd find those petrified shells,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
don't forget all the shark's teeth.
yeah. I
I
remember the
remember
shark.
we drill a hole in the shark's tooth and put like a little leather string, and that was like, really cool to hang a shark's tooth around your neck.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
there was all sorts of different sizes. You had incisors and, big
Hmm.
chompers, and, they didn't get real big, but they're big enough for kids to make a collection. So
Yeah.
they're pretty cool, well
Well,
preserved.
And your dad. So once again, what did they do with the sand?
Well, with the sand, the type of sand that was back there, because it's basically just sediment, over a couple 100,000 years or whatever.
Yeah.
It turns into something different, and it was all compacted. And they would use that for foundry work. And Santa Ana at the time, Santa Ana was still an upcoming little community. It was Santa Ana was, I mean, it had its missions and stuff like that, but it really turned into an industrial area rather than what it is today. And so they did a lot of foundry work where guys would be making molds and casting aluminum or, heads for motorcycles or, a lot of engine parts, were made in Santa Ana. Different parts for different manufacturers. If you had a medical company or something, you needed things made. I mean, that's where you went,
Hmm.
and those foundries were, man, they were hot because they had to heat all that metal up to liquid. So that heat gets real hot.
Oh my gosh. Oh
And
wow.
I remember going up there with my dad, I'd ride up with him in the truck every once in a while, and he'd drop the sand off in their yard. And of course, he'd probably be waiting around for a check. But in the meantime, like one of the guys, well, I want to see what we're doing. He can remember back in elementary school, it was really cool when you got to go on a field trip. You really got to see the workings of a lot of different things,
Hmm.
which always, I don't know if they do the same kind of field trips anymore, but, um, but getting to go there in there where where they've got those, what do you call them, the furnaces
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
that, you know, that heat up the heat hotter than it, usually is, I guess. They take fire and make it like really hot.
Hmm.
And it's to melt down those big uh, iron, what you call them, ladles, or, because they dip these things into like molten aluminum, and then they'd walk it over and pour it into the molds. And that stuff's like liquid metal, so it's
Yeah.
you
Oh
know
my
that
gosh.
stuff is hot.
Wow. Wow.
And of course you didn't want to get any on you, and a lot of that would splatter. Those guys had full leather, aprons on and stuff with their goggles and everything, and that pouring that stuff in there, that stuff like will pop. It hits cold stuff and boom. So there was little droplets of splattered aluminum all over the place. It was just going,
Wow. Wow.
you know.
Wow.
So you really had to stand back and
Hmm.
watch what they were doing. They wouldn't let you get that close. I mean, it'd be stupid to do that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
it's
Exactly.
pretty dangerous work. I
Oh.
mean, you can
Oh. Oh.
imagine
Oh.
if you spilled something like that. Oh my gosh. But that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
And other people used it for different things. I mean, the silica sand, I mean, you know what silica sand is? It's real fine
Mhm.
sand. They use it for sandblasting, sandboxes.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So then that stopped operation. Was that after that huge flood in '69? That's how everything.
I think my dad was gone by that time because this is a real funky part about where my dad's operation was. The salt flats there were there, but all of that was Irvine Company property.
Yeah. Right. Right. Right.
And my dad tried forever because he knew that would be a great place to set up shop. And so he got a hold of some guys at the Irvine Company, and he said, I want to start up an operation here. Oh, what do you do? And he explained everything that he did and where he was coming from. And they were, oh, yeah, okay, well, that's okay. He goes, well, no, I mean, what's the rent? What am I going to have to pay? I mean, I need a lease. I need something to tell me that it's okay for me to be there. And I guess the guy that he was talking to was the guy that you talked to if you wanted to do something on Irvine property. And he said, "No, just set it up. I'll get back to you." He never got back to my dad. My dad would try to contact him. He went into their offices. Oh no, Joe's out on a job or he's not here right now. He'll call you. Well, he never called my dad. And I forget how many years my dad was there. And then one day he comes in and goes, "Oh, hi, Sparks." My dad's like, "Where the hell have you been?" I've been trying to oh my God, I don't even know if I can pay for all this. Oh, don't worry about that. He says, "I just want to let you know that, well, you're going to have to close shop in about a year because we're going to put in East Bluff. As you recall, the Jamboree was a really rotten road, two
Yeah. No,
lanes.
oh yeah. No. Right.
It was pretty good. And when you took that thing, you're out in the country. There was nothing out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
it went from like the Upper Bay there all the way to the Coast Highway. MacArthur wasn't much better,
Hmm.
and then of course they put the Ford Air Neutronics and all that stuff out there. So, but and that was a big thing for all those East Bluff homes. That was one of the they needed an anchor, so to speak.
Hmm.
So they put in Ford Air Neutronics, and of course it did. It brought in a lot of people to live there. So. But yeah, kind of interesting times. He never paid a dime for rent the whole time he was there.
Whoa.
Yeah, the guy
That's
just said, "Oh, yeah,
extraordinary.
that's fine. But you got a year. We're going to be coming through here, so you got a year to transplant or find something else."
Huh.
My dad, well, what do I owe? Don't worry about it.
Oh.
So his business was there,
Hmm.
never paid a dime to the Irving
Wow.
company.
Because back
And
then,
who
as
can
an
say that? Who can say that today?
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Because just think, Dover Shores, the owners don't own the land. They have a 100-year lease with the Irvine Company.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which will be here before you know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been 60 years, so we got like 40 more years. Right. I
40
don't know what
more years.
happens after that.
Good question. Probably raise your rent.
Yeah. Right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
If you want to live here, you got a new lease signed here.
Right. Huh.
I mean, it's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like they can kick everybody out of their house. In theory, I guess they could, but
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, that'd be bad for business.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Huh.
That's interesting. I remember hearing something like that, but I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Well, well, maybe today we'll call it nice and short and sweet. But I had no idea about this. Once again, yeah, it kind of enlightened me. And as you see, I'm putting this in our book. In the
Chapter,
catalog.
chapter in the book, chapter in
Yeah,
the book.
chapter, right. Oh, I should
The
show
mark, the
you.
mark chapter.
Yeah, the Mark chapter. You, it would be totally amazed. Sometime I got to show you all the stuff that I've done. You would be, you'd be blown away. I never showed anybody yet. You know,
Uh,
I
well, I
put,
might have to. I might have to take a trip to Kansas.
yeah, but yeah, someday we could do it online. We could do a Zoom session. I kind of, you're the one I think. Well, I'm sure you're going to think that's way too much, but then once again, you know that I like to do research, so
Yeah,
I'll never stop. I mean, I'll never stop learning. So.
sure. You ever go outside?
Oh yeah. I mean, I work early in the morning, and then yeah, I take walks, twice a day. Yeah, I'm definitely outside, definitely.
Oh, good,
It's
good, good, good.
balance. Yeah, I you can't I even wrote a thing that you can't only work and you can't only play. There's a middle way.
But you can work at playing,
What's that?
so you can work at playing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
And you
exactly.
can always play at work,
Yeah.
which I've been known to do.
Yeah. So, at our age, it's all balance. But for me, it's like everything I do is balance. Uh, just learning how I call it fine tuning the guitar of life. That's what I'm learning how to fine tune.
Ah,
And when you think sometimes when you think the guitar is in tune, it's not.
yeah, it's time to get new strings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or a new toe.
Yeah, right. Speaking of balance, I'm working on balance too. I've got neuropathy in my feet, so it's one of
Oh,
those old age things, I guess. But
yeah.
yeah, I've got to do exercises to get my balance back in
Mhm,
place. It's coming along.
mhm. Yeah.
I can't run real fast, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, likewise. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason I haven't been into running in years. I love
Well,
to.
you did enough running probably for a lifetime.
Oh, I know, exactly. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But there's still guys out there jogging along,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
putting in 5 miles a day, or yeah, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. Right. Uh-huh.
I'm lucky to get a mile or two in walking.
Right. All right. Well, I told you I found the Daily Pilot and the Newport Beach uh, search engine. And they got all the stuff, articles from the Daily Pilot, and then they have all the
Uh,
council meetings records. So
oh,
today
geez.
I was going through the council meeting records when uh, uh, Frank Robinson went over
Oh, yeah.
his
Interesting.
proposal to, they want to put a shopping center out there. And so, Frank, petitioned and they want to do something else. This was in one meeting, mind you. So it was in 1973. So
Well, they had to,
what's that?
where did they want to put the shopping center? Because they
Oh,
put in Fashion Island, so they got
yeah,
that.
it's right I think the other side of Back Bay, where we grew up, that side.
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't know where you put it.
I don't, I'm not sure. I haven't, today I just found the petition. So I'm gonna kind of go, spend some time and going through there
Mhm.
and see all the stuff. Yeah.
Well, oddly enough, back then, I would imagine it would have been someplace, you know, in front of the airport. The
Yeah.
only place I get to go,
Right.
you
Uh,
know, so, which which wouldn't have gone over too good.
yeah. Yeah, right, right. It went over too good. Yeah, really. Yeah.
I don't know
Uh,
if I'd want those guys flying over my head. Because even then, I mean, the runway is much shorter. And once they brought those jets in, they had to make the runway longer. So the runway's a little over a mile long. So,
wow. Wow.
I mean, it takes a while to stop a plane. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
first you got to get it on the ground before you can stop it. So,
Right, right. Yeah. Hmm.
so
All right. Well, looks like today is short and sweet.
that's about all I have in the back day, other than Kevin Charles and I don't know, you guys used to go, we used to explore all that stuff.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Um, we'd see how far we could go. I mean, Dover Shores, we were all over that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then, just going to see you wait for a low tide so you could get out and walk around at the bottom of some of those cliffs, going way back up there past Dover Shores and the Upper Bay and everything.
Mhm.
And you know, I don't know how many times I came home with like mud up to my knees and halfway up my pants. My mom asked me, I won't even ask where you've been. Just take your clothes off outside and hose your clothes off and yourself and then get in the bathtub.
Oh, oh
Of
God.
course, by that time, you're cold and wet and you just want to get in the bathtub. But
Yeah.
so that was our lesson. And then, of course, your shoes, I mean, are just completely caked with mud. And it wasn't just mud, it was that clay stuff,
Right.
it
Oh, yeah.
just
Right. And so they
stuck to it. You know,
yeah.
you get this stuff piled onto your shoes, but like, it's like you had elevator shoes.
Right, right, right.
I mean, you'd have like 2, 3 inches of just muck stuck on the bottom of your shoe.
Hmm.
That was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Good times. Well, that's about all I got about the salt flats.
All right.
I mean, wasn't all that exciting. It was always fun. I remember probably bringing salt to elementary school over Mariners, and passing it around to kids and stuff, telling them, because everybody knew where it was. Everybody had seen it really, but it wasn't a private road because that Back Bay Road went from like Jamboree all the way down to the dunes. So
Yeah.
that was where kids go out and drink beer sometime, I guess. I wouldn't know. I wasn't old enough. So.
Yeah, yeah. You would never do such a thing.
I would do it. That'd be a Robert Hippie thing,
Yeah,
It'd be a
Robert.
Tom Fortner.
Oh, Tom Fortner, yeah. And wasn't
Carter
there a
sees him
Duncan?
every once in a while.
Wasn't there a Duncan? Well, who's the
Oh, Duncan, that's right. Duncan, God, what was his? Tom Duncan.
yeah.
Tom Duncan. Duncan
Yeah,
was his
Tom.
last name.
He was real good friends with Carter Robinson, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. He
Hmm.
still sees him. Every was what Carter calls him Tank
Yeah.
because he was built like a tank. So
Uh-huh.
uh, yeah, yeah. Carter stays in touch with him. He's around here someplace.
Hmm. Yeah, I gotta call him one of these days. You gave me his number. I gotta do that. Yeah.
No, I'd like to hear from you.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to probably call you back. He never picks up his phone. So,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
but
Yeah.
I mean, he's busy when he's working. When he's not working, he's trying to get things done. So it's even hard for me to sneak in there and say
Hmm.
hi. So, yeah, I see him. I can't say I see him all the time, but we get together and chat for a while and then
Hmm.
go our separate ways. He's working out of a garage in a house that he owns.
Hmm. Uh-huh.
He's still doing electrical panels for boats and stuff, a lot of marine stuff. So, like he says, he hates his job, but he loves the money.
Yeah. Oh.
And then he figured out what's my alternative, be home with my wife all day. He goes, nah, I think I'll sit in the garage and twiddle. So
Oh. Oh, sure. Uh-huh.
you can erase that from the tape there. I don't know
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, well, we didn't hear that.
no, we didn't hear that. Yeah, somebody was impersonating my voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It, it's like was that in Star Wars where when they had those that drawings that was talking to the bad force, and then they told the the other guys, you didn't hear this, and then they said, okay, we didn't hear this. That was in the Star Wars movie. I
Yeah,
I didn't get
I
exactly
love my
what.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Love my Star Wars.
Mhm.
I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can hardly wait to be zipping around in my own little cruiser.
But George Lucas got all the archetypes of the Star Wars from Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell wrote a book. I forgot exactly what it was in the 1930s. It was one of the main archetype symbols books for its time. It's about the power of myth. Remember, Joseph Campbell did the power of myth on PBS. It was a instant success. I think they had about nine part series. This is probably in the 80s, right before he died, and it was probably the
Look that up.
most famous show on PBS called The Power of Myth. It's on sometimes just out of curiosity, go to YouTube and take a look at the videos. And I have a series of articles that uh, George Lucas talked about. He was having interviews with Joseph Campbell, and Joseph Campbell never saw any of his movies, so he invited him up for a week, to watch the movies. And
Oh, that must have been cool.
yeah, oh my gosh, the power myth. Oh,
I would have loved to be in that film room.
yeah, yeah. So, but the power myth is all talks about all. It's kind of like what we're doing right here with the Robinsons and Alan Beak.
Mhm.
You have figures, unknown figures that come together to change
Right.
society for the better. They're in myths. There's always two sides of the myth: the good guys and the bad
Sure, that's
guys.
true. That's true.
Yeah, and all cultures, have their stories. Stories are extremely valuable, to a society. So, I mean, this is what was all about. So that they
Hmm.
went through the myths, and the archetypes, for throughout history. So,
Oh, I have to look it up.
yeah,
I have it written down here.
the power myth. Yeah.
Or-
Well, with that, well, once again, thanks.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, after rap, yeah. As Bugs Bunny once said, don't take life so seriously because you never get out of it alive.
That's true.
And I
That's
even
that.
I found that YouTube clip of Bugs Bunny saying that. So in one of my chapters that I did, I put the final word was meaning. Don't think
Yeah,
so seriously because you'll never get out of it alive. It was only like
yeah,
a 30-second clip when I thought, okay, this is perfect.
right. Mel Blanc. What
Yeah.
a guy. Jeez. All right, my friend. Well,
Yeah.
shall we call it a day and do it again sometime soon?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. All right. Another day, different channel.
When you come around to a new chapter and you need some help, give me a buzz.
Yeah. 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 I will. Yeah. Yeah. So far, Mark, you're the only person that has really been truly been helping me out. Even I can't mention this person's name, but
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
yeah. Well, I'll do it off hours. I can't mention his name because he doesn't want anything to be word. But today he called me and uh and that's why I told him where I was. But I'm so thankful that you're actually giving me the time. So because I wouldn't I. Let's put it this way. This is a significant piece of the puzzle. It's unorthodox, I admit, but I'm unorthodox and you're unorthodox. We're gonna kind of do this the Fletchers, the McClellans way. It's not gonna be
You're more than welcome to join, but if it's just us, that's it.
yeah, yeah. This is not college level professors, debating one another
Exactly.
about what happened. It's not our theories,
You
and
will
all
not be graded on this.
yeah, yeah, exactly. My poetry teacher, Mrs. Topalian, would be blown away about where John and I are at because yeah, as I think I could put you in the same camp. When I was in high school, I wasn't scholarly.
Yeah, well, I definitely wasn't. wasn't scholarly.
Yeah. But now years later, um, I think just do it with meditation, and
Mhm.
with our insights, with your insights, you're one of the only other people that who I know who puts up, these. Well, here's one more topic, and I put up a post, and you put up the same exact post about a picture, was it of a star, which was 1 billion years older than the universe. And you said, how could that be? Yeah, how could that be? So you imagine you have a blank slate, Big Bang, it existed for so it's been like 13.5 billion years old. And now scientists are saying that this one speck in the universe is 1 billion years older. So does that mean that there are still specks, remnants,
Billions and billions of specks.
right, exactly, that are older than our universe?
Yeah,
So and then get this, and then so there could be 1 trillion universes before us, because 13.5 million years is only a drop in the bucket.
it's
Just
a
a blink
blink
of
of
an
the
eye.
eye. The blink of the eye.
Yeah. And so then if I had a poem, I would say, and we're texting on the freeway of life, oblivious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is to eat at the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Uh-huh. So
It's
that's what.
it's right on the edge of the universe and it's constantly expanding. So it's
Right,
like
right.
everything in front of you is just going like this. It's like yeah, that's the ultimate goal, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah.
Make a reservation.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. So those are
Uh,
those two main factors that I see that I like. I like your
mhm.
humor. The cartoons. Some of them are quite bizarre. They really make you want to scratch and think. Whoa.
What is we're talking about here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the better pictures that I just posted was like the what is it? The six-sided. What's that?
Oh,
Sexagon
hexagon?
on the top of Jupiter.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Huh.
Here's this perfect geometric form on top of a round, I believe, our largest planet in our solar system. And if you look real carefully at it, there's a little dot in the center of that. And if you blow that picture up, it's almost as if there's cloud formations going in a counterclockwise circle around that little hole, which is in the center of that geometric.
Oh, wow. When did you post that? I got to take a look at it. Here,
You know,
do me a favor. Right now, do you know how to share screen? If I can you show that to me?
yeah, if you
Okay,
can do
let's
that,
really do. Okay, multiple. Okay, so now.
it's probably a few days ago. I've never done that before.
So on the bottom, there's share screen.
Yeah, I see that. Do I hit that? Hit share screen. There we go. Huh, okay. Um,
And then there should be like show all windows or something on the right hand side.
uh,
Or
share
just
layouts
click
options.
a share. Just click share. I think it will automatically will do everything. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, it's coming up. Mark McClellan has stopped.
Okay, okay. Do you want me to find this for you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to see that. Yeah.
I'm feel very fortunate. I'm still in good contact with quite a few friends that I made when I lived in Aspen for a couple of
Mhm.
years. Just really good friends of mine. Right, with here. It's trying to load, so maybe because we're on. Here we go. Okay. Can you see me flipping through all this stuff?
Yeah, I can see you, and I can see that. Oh, there's a nice well there. Wow,
Isn't that cool?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was right off the coast. Look at that.
wow. So a well
Okay.
by is only 10 to 20 minutes, and the sunrise is only between 2 and 3, sunset 2 or 3 minutes. Wow, that was incredible.
The solstice are those things. Jeez.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I said, everybody's worried about climate change until the sun spits out something your way and you
Oh,
know,
I like that one.
where 10 millimeters socket. That's classic. 16 hours. Would that be under? Let's see.
I think you might be able to type in Saturn. Oh, hey, there's my song. What precedes creation? Oh no. No.
Uh,
Yeah, ER. Yeah.
ER.
Yeah, ER. Yeah.
You saw this one, didn't you? Oh, here we go. Hold on. This is amazing stuff. No, that is a pretty cool one.
Oh, there's Jupiter. That said,
Let's
this
see.
is Jupiter. Okay.
Yeah, confirm.
Wow, that's amazing. That
Amazing that, you know, our spacecrafts that we have flying around, they pick all this stuff up. It's just crazy. Let's see. Posts. Some more fun stuff. Jupiter. That's the one. Mr. Blackburn. That's a crazy picture. Okay, come on. Conjunction, the Great Conjunction by Fletcher Soul Traveler.
yeah, who in the world's that?
Telling dragon stories again.
Mhm.
Uh,
Well, you got a lot of
Uh,
Jupiter, don't you?
well, it's just one of them, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Recent posts. Let's try that. Posts. Okay. Not gonna let me do.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit more difficult than we thought, huh? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Oh, Sailor Moon. Yeah.
I don't know what's taking me has to do with Jupiter, but sheesh, I just saw it. Well, I'll tell you what, when I find it, I can send it to you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And burn it up. Paste it down here. Yeah, it's a photo. And I think it might have been the Hubble. No, Hubble's going. Yeah, I think it might have. I forget that Cassisi, Cassisi, something like that. That might have been the one when it was flying out of our solar system. Yeah,
Oh, that Cassini
yeah,
one.
this is Cassini. Yeah. Well, this is.
Oh, that's volcanoes on Jupiter.
It was some. It's James.
Wow, look at the size of the Earth to Jupiter. Wow.
Like crazy, like a moon.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
The moon's bigger than our planet.
Mhm. Well,
Well,
that was 3 days ago, it says. So maybe
was
if you
it?
scroll, that was 3 days ago. So maybe you can scroll down. Man, I wonder if she did that, Melissa James.
That's hard to say.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm really dragging my Wi-Fi speed down. I think it's probably the. Oh, I know a place I could look. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Wow, what's that? Ultimate. Wow.
Solar system, Olympus Mons on
Yeah.
Mars.
Wow.
Height 25 kilometers. Mount Everest is 8.8.
Wow. Oh my God.
That's kind of strange. Uh,
Yeah, looks like this might be a needle in a haystack. Huh?
Yeah, as soon as they hang out with it, it'll pop up.
Yeah,
So
exactly, exactly.
yeah, I'll take you with my dude there. So yes, yeah. I mean, I think they think that if there was life on Jupiter or around Jupiter, they sort of put it on the moon Europa as being a spot that would be
Oh, on Europa, yeah. Oh,
on Europa. So
that's one of my favorite instrumentals was Europa by
there you
Santana.
go. This was 4 days ago. NASA's changed what was discovered what appears to be a new record holder for the most distant known galaxy. Shattering its previous record, the galaxy existed only 200. Is this the one you were talking about? Existed only
Yeah, yeah.
290 million years after the Big Bang. It's unusually bright, given its distance. Yeah, this is the screenshot of that. It shows
Wow,
the image up here, and it zooms it down to like right there.
wow, wow.
Crazy. All right. Okay. Well, screw this.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a bizarre one. Talk about a black hole.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
You
Wow.
know, I mean, it is. And what's their theory on that? That it's
Well,
sucking in light.
the best well-known theory is Stephen Hawkins, and he proposes that on the other end of a black hole is another universe being created.
That makes sense because it's just sucking up this one,
Yeah, yeah,
shoving it out someplace else. So
right,
it's sort of like cell splitting.
right, exactly, exactly.
I mean, if you really want to look at it that way, I mean, it makes more sense
Hmm.
because if the universe goes on forever, I mean, that's probably why. It just sort of keeps moving and expanding.
Tom, tom,
It's a living thing. I
yeah.
mean, how else can you explain
Tomorrow
it?
on my when I do the Zoran and the Dragon, talking for the
Uh,
quantum, my chapter is black holes. So I'm gonna be
uh,
doing so a whole talk on Zoran's talk about now. Isn't that amazing? Oh, that Fibonacci.
yes. And I think, okay, here's the one at Jupiter, but it's looking up from the very bottom. Okay, see, this is the bottom, and the other one, if you look at that, try to blow it up here. Yeah, it's similar, but it's yeah, that's not it. I'll send it for you, but I could figure out.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to check out on that one. When I find it, I'll send it to you. And
Okay.
if you, and if I posted it hard once, but my last post, I think it's Miss Priestman been talking about it. And I was trying to
Mhm.
explain to her if you blow that thing up and look at it closer,
Yeah.
you'll see things that just don't seem to make sense on a planet like that.
Yeah.
It's huge. It almost looks like it was intelligently made, if you know what I'm
Wow.
saying. Looks like a portal almost.
Hmm.
But yeah, when I get it and send it to you, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it's on its pole. And I think there was another thing I sent out. It showed the different rotations of the planets and their axis.
Oh,
Some of them are spinning counterclockwise, and some of them are, their axis
oh,
of
that's right. Yeah,
orbits and
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Like Uranus is spinning around like this.
Whoa,
Its
oh,
poles
whoa,
are like,
whoa.
it's spinning around like a ball on a wire.
Uh-huh.
And where, everybody else's, their axis is moving around. So it's totally, it's not wobbling, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah, yeah.
Your axis is off on an angle. So, all right, my friend, this is just nonsense.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks. And
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
yeah,
I gotta get a hold of John here one of these days.
yeah,
Have
yeah.
a stuff with him. Maybe get a hold of him on
Uh-huh.
Snapchat or something. Got to get a hold of Kevin Charles too, for that matter. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He's got
Okay.
one. I
Well, you
can't.
have a
You know what? He's not married yet, but he's asked her to marry him, and it's really kind of funny. Nori is her name, and she's a real sweetie pie, but what a handful. She's a big handful. And the culture, the Japanese culture and stuff is just so different,
Oh my God. Oh
you know.
gosh.
So,
Yeah.
we I can't remember what to do this story. He comes by and he comes over and stays at Bruce's house, and then Nori comes over, and they go swimming. Kevin still swims a mile or two a day, and but so they come over here, and of course the first thing Kevin wants to do is buy a nice steak, because beef in Japan is really expensive. I mean, all they have is like Kobe or whatever it is.
Hmm.
And so, he'll go over to the butchery or some, real expensive meat market. I said, Kevin, no, that's okay. We'll make some berries. Oh, no, no, I want steak. We already want steak. You know how to barbecue, don't you? I go, yeah, I can barbecue. I go, well, you get the barbecue steaks. Like, oh, swell. So I get out I have two barbecues. I have like a Weber, where you use charcoal,
Yeah.
which is a great way to do it, because then you can put in uh, some wet oak bark or something like that to give it a nice smoky flavor. And then I have like the grill where you just go out and burn a few hamburgers and chickens or whatever. But he uh, he goes to the store and he comes back with more. And he said, "Okay, I got the steaks." And he goes to the butcher. These steaks, Rick, were like 60, $70 a piece.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, what kind of meat did you get? What did you get for this stupid? He goes, oh, no, 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 we didn't have anything this nice. And so it's like, I'll just say, a good $200+ of meat between four steaks.
Oh my
Okay. And
God.
it wasn't like they were real thick or, real big monsters or anything. I mean, they were nice cuts of meat. But then it's like, oh my God, if I screw this up, I'm toast. Because like, why do you like yours? Well, I like my rare. I like my medium rare. And I'm a medium kind of guy. And so it's like, oh, whatever. So now I have to put the meat on at different times at different places on the grill. And I was pretty damn nervous. Yeah. Screwed up,
And
the meal that he just bought us. I mean, I can't tell you how, crazy insane I thought it was. But I got the things out, pulled them on the plates, and they dug into him, and Marty's eyes got real big. Kevin's eyes got, this is perfect.
Uh-huh.
just the way I like it. And I'm like, are they just saying that? Or are they, so, you know, it was funny pictures where I found the pictures of the salt flats for you too.
Did you have baked potatoes and fresh corn on the cob?
I think we did have some potatoes with some fresh steamed veggies, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, corn on the cob, but we did have some fresh veggies. I like steamed those. Those are usually pretty good. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I said to you last time, well, I guess if I had uh, fried ones, it'd be Japanese food or Chinese food or something, you know. It's everything's in the steamer.
Mm.
Yum yum. And we've got a big ass cart now.
Mm.
We bought the big horse tanks, like a watering trough,
Yeah.
and filled those up with a lot of soil, about a yard and a half, 2 yards of soil.
Mm.
But I got tomatoes growing. We've had them in there for about 3 years now. I got tomatoes. What do I got right now? I've got cucumbers, onions, a couple kinds of lettuce, some kale.
Ooh, nice. Oh.
Uh, got watermelon growing,
Ooh.
some
Oh,
zucchini,
wow.
and a different kind of squash that a neighbor got us. And I
Does,
got some potatoes going.
does okra grow there? I love okra.
I don't have any okra.
Oh,
Mark
okay.
doesn't like okra.
I
I'll
think,
eat okra, but I mean, why would I want to grow it if I don't eat it that much? So,
yeah. Oh, when you have an Indian style, you cook it with ghee, so the okra is not slimy. It gets super crispy, and you put spices on
now
it.
that I can eat.
Yeah, that's kind of like oh, imagine having difference between mashed potatoes and French fries with a lot of incredible spices on them. You ever seen those spices?
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that.
So do you like it kind of deep fried or what?
No, no, you just put ghee, ghee is clarified butter. Just put like two
Uh,
tablespoons, and then you get cumin seeds. So when the ghee gets hot, the cumin seeds you put it in, and they get almost burnt. So it kind of infuses the cumin oil into the ghee, and then
oh, I see.
then you add your okra, and you saute them until they get nice and crispy. And in the meantime, you add spices to it, like Indian spices. Yeah.
It sounds quite yummy.
Mhm.
I had some the other day that was oh, here we go. Well, here's one picture of it.
Oh, okay. That's a kind of okay.
But I think no, I don't know. They have a picture of the United States, it looks like, in the middle of it.
Let's see that.
Um,
If you click that on, let's just blow that up and see. Does it do it?
I gotta blow it up on my screen here. Yeah, that's still
Okay.
that's it. That's the you can see the it's gone here. But the inner, yeah, this is kind of blurry. Yeah, the picture's better. I guess I'm all the way up. I'm at 260.
So you're saying
But
on that picture that you have uh that in that very center there's a raise and there's kind of like a what kind of
yeah,
like a
it's like all that stuff is rotating
yeah, yeah,
around in the center. On the center is rotating around counterclockwise.
okay,
But it looks like others, the outside might be going, you can sort of see the swirling happening right here.
yeah, And then the other
Okay.
one looks like it's going the opposite way, doesn't it?
And the other one
And the
looks like
other
it's
one,
going to
yeah,
So that might be where it gets that kind of configuration. But
and
I
that's
just,
what once again that's the yin yang, right? Two
that's the
poles
way
and
I would
opposite.
look at it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's a classical
in
example
fact,
of
it need to be counterbalanced sometimes, and that's probably one of the reasons why.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, you just fall apart. All right. Well, I'll still look for it because
yeah.
it's
Okay.
out there.
All right, Mark. Well, we'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye.
Sounds good, Rick. I'll talk to you later too. It's been always good chatting with you.
Uh-huh. All right. Bye.
All right, buddy. See you later.